Now, let me make this clear, that in Syria, they actually have mandatory, forced 2 years military service. Every Syrian young man must complete this 2 years of service, except those that are only children to their parents, of course. So when the invasion of Lebanon happened, and we were invaded by the Syrian army, of course, Lebanon, its people went through quite a lot of atrocities at the hands of the Syrians. And I will say, not just the Syrian army by the command, but the Syrians themselves. Now, apart from the heavy bombing and shelling that we had for weeks at a time, we also went through some tortures by the Syrian soldiers, and we went through some horrific murders and even kidnappings. One of my distant cousins was actually kidnapped, and he was in Syria held for 10 years for no crime, no charge whatsoever. The Syrians were barbaric in Lebanon. If you had a luxury car like a Mercedes or a BMW or a sports car, which a lot of Lebanese people did have at the time, you would be stopped at a checkpoint and you would be murdered, and your car would be taken back to Syria. Pregnant women were kidnapped and had their bellies slit and had their fetuses, their babies, torn out of them. And these women, of course, died. They bled to death. The tortures that the Syrians did to the Lebanese people, God forgive me for saying this, but I don't think this came from their president. I think it came from their barbaric, evil ways. And God forgive me for saying this, but I think what's happening in Syria now is some form of karma, some form of retribution for what these murderous mongrels did to the Lebanese people. Now, I don't want any Syrian coming on here on Facebook and abusing the hell out of me, because I really do not give a stuff about your opinion. What I do give a stuff that innocent people now in America must know, that these refugees may or may not be terrorists, but most of those men have been in the Syrian army, and they've committed their fair share of atrocities. People were killed for no reason at all, just taken at checkpoints, whether they were Muslim or Christian, mostly Christian. The Syrians would slaughter people in their towns. We had so many refugees from villages and towns that towns were just completely taken over by the Syrian army. Beautiful villas, beautiful, expensive villas with marble floors, the most expensive mahogany doors and door frames. And you know what the Syrians did? They would rip the door frames and the doors off their hinges, and they would send them back to Syria. This is how savage and barbaric they were, how decrepit they were, and how depraved they were. They left not even a screw on a door frame. They stole windows, they stole window frames, they left beautiful homes. They stole crystal chandeliers out of homes. They destroyed homes. They destroyed lives. They raped. They pillaged. They slaughtered, and they slaughtered, and they slaughtered. So I'm asking one of you patriots to please take my video, show it to one of your governors, let my video go around, and ask any of the Christian Lebanese people in America if I'm telling the truth or not, because I am.